Hello my little digital monsters. In this video I will be answering the question, can you beat Digimon Storytime Stranger using only Monster Girls on Mega Plus difficulty? This video is a continuation of my previous one where I did the same challenge on hard mode, which I will leave a link in the description if you want to see it first, and I will be using most of the same rules, which are as follow. Monster Girls only, meaning any Digimon with a feminine appearance. No duplicates of the same Digimon. Digimons can only equip skills found on their field guide, or upgrades of said skills. So for example, Heal becomes X-Heal, Work in Napalm 1 becomes Work in Napalm 3. This time I will be allowing the use of Aegiomon's evolutions, not that it changes much as he mostly gets one hit. And no cross arts. The rules will be in the description below if you ever need a reminder. In this video I will only be covering main story bosses as the side quests proved too easy in my first run and I doubt they would be all that more difficult here. Another thing is that I use Venusmon a lot. Given the amount of damage enemies are dishing out in Mega Plus, you are required to have a healer in most fights if you're not using counterattacks only. I started by attacking Chaos Dramon, expecting him to at least be a bit of a challenge. Turns out he only has 1/3 of Aegiom's total HP and could barely land a scratch on my party. Followed by Aegiomon with his 160,000 HP. While on an easy fight, he took down a Digimon and showed me what to expect of the Mega Plus difficulty, hard-hitting enemies and high amounts of health. Raremon had about the same amount of HP as Aegiomon and managed to take Mervamon with his poisoning gimmick. Now, keep in mind, at this point I still had the same stats as I did when I defeated the Olympus 12 on hard mode, making even early game Mega Plus bosses equaling straight to the post-game challenges in hard mode. Cyclonemon proved to be much easier as I fought him with my power couple, Lady Digimon and Aegiomon, without taking any losses. The Vetemon duo was another fight who took down a single ally. This time it was Junomon Hysteric mode, but as soon as one of them went down, so did the difficulty. Next was a fight with Black Greymon. While supposed to be a tutorial for how to fight Titans, he still took down both Mastamon and Mervamon. Against the Black Aegiomon trio, I kept losing party members as I was taking way too much damage and was dealing way too little. After the fight, I took the time to increase everyone's resistance stats to 5,000 if they did not have it yet and maxed out the main attack stats of all party members. The first fight against Digimon was a total victory without any loss as I used Witchmon, Phanimon, and Venusmon. Seeing how easily I won the fight against Digimon, I decided to try removing Venusmon and replace her momentarily with Aegiomon for the Aegiomon trio. Only pulling out Venusmon really to resurrect Aegiomon to try and get him to gain a bit of EXP. Parrotmon was actually a first difficulty spike for this challenge, to my surprise as it took until my third attempt to win using Venusmon as primary healer and Cirrusmon medium as secondary healer along with a full data team to tank his attack and deal high enough damage to defeat him. Ultimate Aegiomon was nothing to be afraid of. While highly resistant, he could barely lay a dent in my party. Volcanusmon, on the other hand, took a few attempts, but mainly because I would restart the fight on the first turn while I was trying to comprehend his gimmick. Finally, I went with Venusmon for heals, Witchmon and Unomon for counterattacks. Sharkmon was a second try as he was dealing way too much damage for my party, especially when he would spam his Heron Slash. So I had to increase resistances to 8000. I then used Lilithmon to dispose of the two Digimons before switching between Ophanimon, Aegiomon, and Mastermon, all while I had Venusmon healing the party. While Okuwamon was a first try, starting the fight I remember he summoned a lot of insect Digimons and thus total the party mainly focusing on high insect damage, which proved effective until he used character reversal, where he destroyed my entire team, leaving only Rosemon and Aegiomon to finish the fight. The Ogre's rematch took a few minutes because I had to revive Venusmon twice whenever they would suddenly hyper-focus her. So I took out Unomon and used her counters along with my other Digimons dealing damage in the meantime. Remembering how difficult Titamon was in my original run, I decided to prepare a few counter-attackers in the background. This is also the point I decided to start using Aegiomon a bit more, but it turned out even in his stronger forms, he is completely useless. Phase 1 was fought using Aegiomon, Ophanimon, Mastermon, and later switched to Venusmon after losing Aegiomon. Phase 2, I lost Ophanimon, Mastermon, and Venusmon right away, replacing them with Witchmon, Unomon, and Aegiomon Woman, who I had managed to revive previously, but I lost Unomon as her counter was completely useless, and Aegiomon leaving only Witchmon to counter everything Titamon was throwing at her. Skullseedramon was a long fight, but not a threat by any extent of the imagination, as his only times he downed party members was whenever he would use his ultimate move, downing Ophanimon and Aegiomon. Now, while I would love to say the next bosses of the sea chapters were hard, unfortunately they were not, as Rinumon is more of a demon boss and Calamaramon had some sort of glitch that made it so that when I've put her to sleep with Dianamon, she never woke up actually, except when starting charging power and using her ultimate move. only to fall right back asleep right after. Because I played poorly losing my healer, Witchmon was a second try. As long as I kept Venusmon alive, I could easily defeat her by using a mix of my various virus Digimons. On the other end, Terran Kabuterimon was a first try. For the first half of the fight, I used Aegiomon, Mastemon, and Ophanimon until he used Shine of Bee, destroying all three of them in a single hit by dealing over 13,000 damage. Knowing from there he would start spamming his signature move, I released Witchmon and Unimon, who used their counter skills to defeat him. Aegiomon was an easy fight, which surprised me as some of the trash mode before him proved harder. But at this point, due to the sheer amount of damage Titan Kabuterimon had dealt and expecting later enemies to deal even more damage, I decided it was time to get the Great Embrace passive for Venusmon, as otherwise I would be relying on counters for most, if not the entirety of the challenge, which, let's be honest, would be boring. However, what I did not expect is that it would be this broken, allowing party members who nearly all had the magic combo passive to attack twice nearly every turn. I'm unsure if it's a bug or anything, but I did decided that to keep it for this time. Of course, given the fact that I could attack twice, I just completely destroyed Callisimon. Next is Venomidautismon. I would like to say it was hard, but the fight is already over. Zombie Plutomon was another easy fight, though it was a Saiyan because I forgot his gimmick that stopped all healing skills. I used light skills, defeating him in a matter of a few turns. Next is Dr. Kuga. He was even easier than my first time in hard mode, only making him cry for his mommy even more. Apollomon was also a lot easier than I had hoped for, especially with the sheer amount of damage Sirenmon was doing to him. Ripping him to shred in a matter of turns, it was so bad he tried to use magic counter, which I countered with a physical counter, only for him to be destroyed right after his counter was down by Sirenmon. For the Aegiomon, I had equipped my team with full sleep immunizing items, which only trivialized her fight. Sure, she lasted much longer, but also did much less damage. Clavis Aegiomon was just as fast as Venomidautismon for his fight, even though he tried lowering our attack stats. Unimon, though, proved to hit much harder than she did in the hard mode, which is to be expected, but comparatively it felt like she was hitting much harder. She managed to even knock out Ophanimon even with Great Embrace active, as she was blocking her attacks, proving to me that this passive might be absolutely required for Mega Plus difficulty. Approaching the ending, I skipped all the side quests, which actually change absolutely nothing as all the allies appearing to help you still appear whether you did the side quest or not. No, I will not comment on all 7 human lords, as the only threats was their ads. Instead, I will skip to Lucemon, who would have been also an easy fight if not for the unexpected character reversal we pulled, nearly destroying my entire team. Unlucky for him, I still had Witchmon ready just in case. Finally, this leads to the final battle. Chronomon against my final team. Vidasmon, Witchmon, Lady Digimon, Aegiomon, Mastermon, and Ophanimon. This fight proved rather intense, not for its difficulty per se, but because it lasts so long you need to conserve your resources as much as possible. I defeated him on my second try. Why? Because he crashed my game as I was ready to finish him off on my first try. Since most previous phases are the same, I will skip straight to the final one where he turns back our party into baby form. To respect my own rule this time, I decided to not attack until they regain their true form, but I did allow blocking and healing skills. From there, I would juggle between party members and let all the angels out whenever he would charge a big hit, taking advantage of his light weakness until I finally landed the final blow with none other than Aegiomon. No, I did not try the post-game challenges as I already done them on the previous video where I fought them on hard mode and would probably rely on the same tactics I did as in this one. Now for this challenge. Even with all the restrictions, it wasn't as hard as I had hoped for, but I still love this game very much. I still intend on doing more challenge run of this game in the future. Maybe adding some more party restrictions and also not abusing bugs as much as I did this time. But I still wanted to leave them in my video just for showcase, in case anyone has any difficulties and wants to use them. If you like this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and yeah, I'm really just beginning, so if you could, thank you very much.